God pressed reset on the world. Wide, sweeping vistas show an ancient earth emptied of mercy, cities echoing with violence, markets stained by theft, families broken by lies. Corruption spreads like a shadow over every heart. People trade kindness for cruelty and mock any whisper of holiness. Scripture appears. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Genesis 6:5, NKJV. Thunder rolls across a darkening sky as God's sorrow becomes righteous resolve. I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth. Genesis 6:7, NKJV. The camera holds on the Creator's grief, solemn, measured, inevitable. But in this world of darkness, one man stood apart. Noah walked with God, steady, quiet, faithful. He lived differently. His choices reflected another standard, his prayers another hope. When God spoke, Noah listened. God commanded him to build an ark, a massive vessel of salvation, a work of obedience that would take years. We see the long labor, axes biting wood, plans drawn by candlelight, calloused hands shaping salvation. Neighbors jeer, children point. The mocking laughter swells against the steady rhythm of Noah's hammer. Yet his faith is unshaken. His obedience is a testimony against the world's stubbornness. The stage is set for judgment and for mercy. As the ark rises on the shoreline, animals arrive in solemn procession, pairs called by a higher order, quiet and precise. Lions and lambs, birds and beasts, each come two by two, entering the ark as if answering a summons they do not question. The scene is surreal. Nature obeys where humanity refused. Scripture overlays remind us of God's warning and the narrow door of salvation. Neighbors still laugh, and prophets of the age are drowned out by the noise of commerce. Inside the ark, families secure animals, seal provisions, and pray. The day comes when the door is sealed, metal hinges groan, timber meets timber, and the finality of obedience echoes like a judge's gavel. Rain begins, not a drizzle but a relentless deluge. Sound design intensifies. First drops, then sheets, then a roar as the fountains of the great deep break open. Water moves fast, swallowing fields, streets, and stubborn idols. The world's laughter is cut off by a rising tide. For months the ark rides a world of water. Outside, everything familiar is lost beneath an endless gray horizon. Inside, life is disciplined and intimate. The dull rhythm of feeding animals, the whispered prayers of parents, the steady watch of Noah and his sons. Fear and faith live side by side, every creak of wood a reminder of God's power and promise. Scripture records the cost. And all flesh died that moved on the earth. Genesis 7:21, NKJV. Yet within the ark, life is preserved by divine mercy. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive. Genesis 7:23, NKJV. As waters slowly recede, the world becomes a study in patience. Days lengthen into weeks. Noah watches the horizon for any sign of land. He releases a raven that circles and returns to the empty sea, a symbol of the world still in ruin. Then he sends a dove. It returns with an olive leaf, a trembling sign of life. Finally, the dove does not return, and the ark finds rest upon the mountains of Ararat. The hush that follows is almost unbearable. No city noise, only the soft drip of melting waters and the first breaths of a remade earth. Noah steps onto dry ground with reverent awe. He builds an altar, lays sacrifices, and lifts his voice in worship. Gratitude poured out for deliverance. God answers with covenant language, promising never again to destroy all flesh with a flood. He sets a rainbow in the clouds as a sign, a bright, unbreakable pledge across the sky. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Genesis 9:11, NKJV. The rainbow hangs as both comfort and warning, mercy anchored to justice. The final image is calm, the ark resting, a family renewed, the rainbow arcing over a cleansed world. With solemn, measured cadence, the narrator repeats the opening hook. God pressed reset on the world. Let it stand as a warning and a reminder. Judgment fell, mercy prevailed, and obedience saved the remnant.